We're getting
Hello.
so many great answers from Mr. Bigfoot, aren't we, Kim?
Yes, and I'm shocked. I'm pleasantly surprised at
Yeah, me
his
too.
willingness.
I want to be his friend. I want to hang with Bigfoot. Really big. Let's go get a beer after this, Bigfoot. What do you
I want
say?
to learn. I want to learn.
Oh, I know. You and me. Go to the local pub.
He says, I'm with you. I'm with
Okay.
you.
All right, good. As I promised. Now, do you have some sort of government or laws?
He says no. Um, there he goes, this goes back to the common understanding between all of us in our existence, the common understanding in who we are and where we exist. It's that understanding of the oneness and the telepathy that goes with that. So we don't need, he says, the need for individualism then provokes the need for laws and
Yeah.
regulations, because then people start doing
Going
things
rogue.
that,
People go rogue and do bad stuff
exactly,
when they're
he says,
individuals. Yeah.
we're not concerned with that and having the image of my own self and this is me as me. We're not, there's no ego in our existence.
Mm.
So there's no need for the laws or us to be governed because it's a much higher existence within respect and calm. And um, if humans practiced just the respect for themselves outside of any circumstances, they would experience less need for rules and regulations.
Yeah. Okay. Do you use some sort of money or do you barter?
We do barter. We don't have money like you do. We do barter. Sometimes they'll barter with food, meat.
Hmm.
They can barter also with um, like what you would call labor, he says,
Okay.
helping each other, whether it's helping each other move or um, build.
Do you make tools?
Build.
Well, yeah. What do
Um,
you build? And do you make tools? And do you build?
when I asked him, when I said, "What do you build?" He showed me like this huge nest, but it's like a house, like their house. It
Hmm.
just looks like a giant above ground like beaver dam, like just sticks
Oh,
and
okay. Wow.
um,
You live in the trees then? When you
he
go to
goes.
sleep to be safe, or?
He, no, they stay down. They stay on the ground. They don't go up in the trees, or they don't stay up in the trees anyway. They build, he says we can climb trees, we can get up in them, but we don't stay there. So they can barter based on their needs. It's very similar to what humans do,
Okay.
but our barter to us is much more valuable than money, like the food, um, the labor.
Sure. Well, let's go back to tools. Do you make tools?
We do. He says we do. Most of the time, it's out of rock.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sometimes out of sometimes out of wood, but he says that can be pretty challenging. Rock is easier.
What about
Um,
fire? Can you make fire?
we can. It's much harder. Not all of us can.
Okay.
It's more of an understanding. This is fascinating. More of an understanding of what the energy of fire is.
Oh,
So we can use tools and wood and that sort of thing to make fire, just like your survivor men would. But that's crazy. He says some of us can make it with our mind. There's
oh.
the understanding of what its makeup is energetically.
Start a fire with your thoughts, just like on Talladega Nights. That's a movie quote. Sorry. I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash about interrupting, not letting him. But guys out there, I want to get these questions answered. So,
Yeah.
um, so don't be haters. Now tell me more about this. What structures you these nest-like structures that you live in. Obviously, you must have to have some sort of shelter, so from the elements. So,
We do. We build our shelters from the elements, and but they don't last long.
Mm.
He says,
Well, you're nomads anyway, so.
right. And if we do build shelters, when we're finished with it, we disassemble it and return it back to the earth, like
Mm.
out of respect. So oftentimes these are made from many different types of shrubs, thick shrubs, um, sticks, branches, leaves, but for the most part, they're very temporary. We don't build them to stay there.
Okay.
We don't have the need to stay. So again, we're going to disassemble it. He says, in respect to the earth, to
Earth,
show the
yeah.
earth respect, that thank you for the resources that we had for this time.
Do you build a roof or anything for, or is it just an open nest?
Yeah, there's a roof. It's again, it just looks like these walls where they've just piled up shrubs and tree branches that
Okay.
kind of like intertwine,
Oh, okay.
um, and hold itself up that way, but very small, very tree hut kind of thing.
Do you use animal skins for anything? Like clothing or part of your dwelling?
Not very often.
Okay.
He says sometimes for births they'll have animal skin, um, for warmth, but not very often. But if we do kill animals, we use as much as we can of the animal. We don't
Good.
waste. He says we're
Good.
not wasteful in
Yeah.
any respect. We try not to be. We try to
Okay.
make sure we can use every part.
Now, what happens when you guys get sick? I mean, do y'all have special roles, like somebody's the healer and all that stuff? Do you make does somebody able to make somebody able to make medicate medicines from herbs and things like that,
Well, we understand
or do
the
you energy heal?
medicines.
Yeah. Okay.
He says we understand we're a higher vibration anyway. So when we get sick, that's pretty rare. But when we get ill, we understand the medicines that the earth provides us.
Mm.
So the herbs, the roots, the different things that come from roots, all of us have that understanding. So it's not like the females have that role like on earth
Okay.
with humans. He says we all have that understanding of what different herbs and plants provide us.
Hmm.
So if one of us get ill, if we know the cause of the illness, then we can find the earth plant to heal us,
Mm.
if it's needed in that respect. But our energy is much more healing, um, based on our vibration. So if it's energy healing that we need, um, he says that's much easier to come by just because of their
Okay.
type of existence.
Other than that, are there any specific roles? Like there's certain people who hunt and certain who look for berries and roots and some that build the trees, or do y'all all participate in everything? So is
Most
there a division of labor, basically?
He says no, most of it is shared.
Okay.
Sometimes the young will um, go find berries or food,
Hmm.
but all of the roles are shared. It's not divided up like humans do.
Okay. Um, now, you have the power of telepathy, and of course, I know humans really do have that power. We just don't tap into it. And it sounds like you know how to energy heal, right? So, do you have any other special powers that we don't have? Oh, and of course, transcending dimensions. That's kind of a big one, too.
Well, he says if you want to call it a special power, we have a higher capability to understand the existence of things, why they exist, and why we are existing with them.
Mm.
Whereas humans tend to combat that and fight existing with certain people, certain things. He goes, even trees. There's a lot of humans that don't respect trees. They'll cut them
Mm.
down. They can't just coexist with it. So we have a much higher understanding than humans are capable of all existence. But as far as other powers, there's a lot. He's actually referring back to Erik. He says there's a lot that Erik has talked about. We have the same capabilities. Um, knowing how energy works and using that to our advantage, to keep our things sacred. It's not out of trickery or anything out of fear, nothing like that. It's out of love to keep our individuals sacred and hidden.
So basically, you know how to manipulate energy to manifest things too, I guess, right?
Yep. He says, yep, vice versa, both. We can
Okay.
manifest, we can make things invisible, um, we can move things without touching them.
Mm.
He says we can, the ability to manifest to us is like, it's just as easy as breathing.
Wow.
He says, um, it's like, I don't want to use that word. He said it's like almost like child's play, like it's just so simple to them.
Okay.
Um,
Just totally intuitive.
that's our main state of function, he says,
Okay.
is intuition.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool. What do you do for fun? Just give me one
Well,
thing,
for
because boy, we are just almost out of time.
for
About
entertainment,
time.
we build. He
Okay.
says it's fun to build.
Do you have any technology? I'm going to interrupt you because I've got like.
It's okay. He says he's so primitive. We don't need technology. Um,
So no iPhones, iPads. I'm kidding.
he says our telepathy is our technology.
Yeah, I wish we had that. Now, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you have wars and other conflicts? Do you have weapons? Obviously, you don't have wars and conflicts, but weapons. Can you make a weapon to defend yourself against
Yeah.
aggressive animals or human beings?
Yeah, we can and we have. We even rocks are weapons to us. We can
Okay.
throw rocks as a warning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, large tree branches are
Okay.
weapons for us.
Do you have something similar to our human experience? Like we're here to experience duality through duality to understand all facets of love. In other words, we're here to like you might know what hot is, but we have to experience cold in order to totally understand it. Do you have something similar to that?
He says they don't need that duality of understanding
Okay.
because the understanding already exists. He goes, you remember that part, Kim, when I made you feel like I was really intelligent? He says it's just again a higher understanding of all that is. So we don't necessarily need to incarnate like humans do and experience all dualities, all parallelisms, he says, to understand all facets of existence.
Okay.
Uh, we just exist in the understanding already.
All right. So there's no evolution going on, spiritual evolution going on with you guys?
Our purpose is not evolution like yours is
Mm-hmm.
for humans. Our purpose is rather to remain in that constant and be it and teach it. And it's a much higher vibration. It's
Yeah.
pure love. Like
Yeah.
his vibration feels. I know it sounds funny, but who would have ever thought Bigfoot feels like an angel to me?
Oh,
Because
wow.
the energy, the vibration is so high and so calm
Mm.
and just respect and love.
It must feel
Um,
good to channel him, huh?
it does. I feel very peaceful. I was nervous,
Mm.
just every time I do a session, I get nervous. I'm like, oh gosh, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
But I feel good. I feel very calm. And um, I'm one of those people that always thought, well, who's Bigfoot? What's he all about?
Yeah.
But
Now
I'm
you
grateful.
know. Now you know. Now, when you die, Mr. Bigfoot, do you go to the same dimensional plane that we go, that like Eric's in?
Um, partially, he says, to a degree. We we can spend time there, but the different planes that you experience are based on your needs. So if you need um, like repatched or regrouped to bring your energy all back together, if you've been through something traumatic,
Mm,
you're going to go to like an incubator, so to speak, he says,
okay.
for that to happen. But because of who we are in our existence, when we transition through these different realms, some of that we don't need. We
Okay.
sort of like surpass it. We can go there and visit, but we don't need it like humans do.
Okay.
But
Um,
we certainly can coexist, he says, and that's a lot of fun when humans come in,
and
and
see
we can
Bigfoot.
coexist with them
Yeah.
because it's never something they pictured. They always thought they would just be with humans.
Yeah. That's cool. Now, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, but that some people have reported this very strong smell. What is the purpose of that smell? And do you take baths? You probably think we smell pretty bad, but what is the purpose of the smell? And do you take baths?
We do take baths. Um, we do have cleansing rituals. They're not nearly as frequent and not like yours.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for the odor is more of a protection mechanism
Oh,
to
okay.
keep other species at a distance.
Okay.
But
All right.
that's
That's
partially,
fine.
he says, that's a manifested thing too. It's not like it's always a physical
Oh,
existence, it's a
oh.
manifested protection.
So it's not a physical smell necessarily. It's something you energetically create and manifest.
Exactly.
Okay. What do you think about Erik?
Erik is a great teacher.
He is. I'm so proud of
Um,
him. Are you proud of him, Mr. Bigfoot?
I'm grateful. He leaned forward and said, grateful because he's teaching so many and so many different kinds. He's teaching them in a gentle way, though. He has a way of interacting with people the way that they need it to not cause
Yeah.
them to shut down to the spiritual world, rather open them up a little
Mm,
bit more. Because if certain spiritual individuals started to interact, people would react in fear and shut down. But
yeah.
Erik has a way of lifting people up first, and then he can interact. But he's teaching the movement he's creating with the spiritual minded people on earth should be marked. It should be documented. It's a large movement, and many should be grateful for what he offers in his teachings, he says.
So we should take him with us for that beer, don't you think?
He says he should probably have one or two.
Yeah, right. You probably have something beside beer. All right. Two more things. Erik, do you have any questions for Mr. Bigfoot?
He says, if we're going for a beer, I'm taking a woman.
Okay, go ahead. Take Jillian.
um, okay, so your question was if Erik has any questions for Mr. Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
He says, it's so sweet. He turned and looked at him, and Erik did this. He goes, how can we learn from you? Um, and Mr. Bigfoot says, the best thing we could teach you is there should be no fear. Don't have any fear. Most of the time, fear derives from not understanding yourself, Bigfoot says. Then that fear leads to it's lashed out. We lash out with that fear in other ways in our life.
Yeah.
But there is no reason for fear.
And it
Fear
separates us
creates.
from the one, too, doesn't it?
It separates us from our reality, and it separates us from the source in which we're created. Um, he says just respect everything around you.
Okay.
Erik's talking to him. He's just like, yeah, but that's so hard for humans. It's much easier
Yeah.
said than done. And he's like trying to have this conversation. Just fear. He says, focus on
Okay.
not having fear.
All right. Um, Last but not least, what do you think about Kim?
Are we asking Erik or Bigfoot?
I'm asking Bigfoot. I know what
Okay.
Erik thinks about you. He adores you.
He thinks he's laughing because I'm nervous. Um, he says she's gentle. She's one that won't harm anybody. She's one that won't intentionally create chaos or harm. Um, she needs to. I love when they put me on the spot.
Oh,
He
poor
says,
you. Sorry.
no, it's okay. He says she needs to have faith in herself and like grow in her confidence without ego. Um, he goes, but I think she's sweet. She's
You are
kind.
sweet.
She's gentle. Thanks.
All right.
Oh,
Any last words before we close, Mr. Bigfoot?
thank you for this opportunity. I feel you are giving me an opportunity to be correctly understood. So thank you on behalf of all of my kind. Thank you, he says.
You bet. I hope we do you a service and clear up some misconceptions. And I really have a lot of respect for you. I'm so honored that you were able to share this information with us. And hopefully we'll talk again.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Erik. Bye, Kim. This was awesome.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Take care. Till next time.
Till next time.
Next time we'll be talking on our radio show next Thursday.
I'm
It
looking
looks
forward
like.
to it.
I'll find out for sure, but that's gonna be fun.
I'll be
You
there.
guys, I will post the details of our radio show in the blog, and you'll get an opportunity to ask Erik any questions you want for free. It's gonna be awesome. Talk to you
Yes.
later, guys. Be sure you like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.